When I was at uni, I couldn't sit still. I've always wanted to try something new. I would flip things on Facebook Marketplace, specifically phones. Now basically, I don't really take good care of my things. I crack my phone all the time. I'm that guy that walks around with a cracked phone screen all the time. This is an old phone, by the way. And so I cracked my iPhone. So I decided, right, I can either get this repaired, really, really expensive, right, at one of these dodgy corner shops, or I could try do it myself. The phone's gone anyway, what's the worst that can happen? I went on YouTube and I found a tutorial on how to replace the screen of an iPhone. I was like, this doesn't look that hard. I bought the kit off eBay. It was like £1 or £2 and I gave it a go. And it worked, and I was gassed, and I looked at the before and after and I was like, what? I did that, I replaced the phone screen. And then I had literally like an epiphany and I was like, hold on, loads of people sell really good iPhones that are cracked on Facebook Marketplace. I just can't be bothered to go and get it repaired. It's not worth it for them. What if I could buy that cracked iPhone and then repair it? It wouldn't take me long, and then sell it for like £100–200 profit. And that's exactly what I started to do. Okay, so my first piece of advice when it comes to flipping is to start with what you have. Now you can go ahead and think about, okay, what do I need to buy to resell for a higher price? I'd forget about the first part entirely. I would say look at what you have in your house, and anything you don't need or you don't use that's laying around, just practice selling that. Just practice putting an ad up, negotiating prices, etc. Just start selling whatever you have lying around the house. Turns out you will get rid of so much clutter and you'll make a lot more money than you think you will. One of the things I read when I first started getting into like flipping was someone gave this piece of advice and said, if you think you don't have anything to sell, you do. There's always something you've got lying around that you don't need anymore that's worth flipping. Okay, say you've done that, you've cleared out pretty much whatever you can think of in your house that you don't need, and you want to start buying on Facebook Marketplace. Always ask for stupid prices. Now whenever you're buying, if you want a good price, something that always works is to ask for silly prices but offer the convenience. Now what that means is if someone's selling something for £100, just be like, hi, is this available? £50, I can come today. Now so many people will be like, F off. I've literally said, like, had people send laugh cry emojis to me and I was like, well, I can come today, and then they won't respond, and then by the end of the day I'll text them again, I can still come, do you want to sell it to me? And then they'll turn around and be like, okay, please, if you can come now, because people can't be bothered. When they're first starting to sell something, they want crazy prices for it, and then eventually they just want to get rid of it. If you can offer them convenience, people are willing to go a lot lower. That's something I've learned. Alright, so my next tip would be to take good pictures to do a good ad. Right, so if you take good quality pictures, just take them outdoors. They don't have to be the best, but anything half decent, have a good detailed ad, all of those things really, really help. And finally, probably my most important tip is to obviously stay safe. Meet at a good spot, know your area really well. One of the reasons why I had to stop was because that wasn't always possible, and there was a situation where the person I was selling to, let's just say they didn't come to buy the phone. You can avoid something like that by meeting at a good spot, either going with a friend, place where there's CCTV, I mean train stations or even outside police stations, as silly as it sounds, wherever, but as long as you have a safe place to meet, it's really, really important. Now one of the best tips I can give is that, say you've started doing that, you've started making a bit of profit, one of the first problems you'll come across is this, and one of the best tips I can give is get rid. Oh, my light's gone, man. Get rid of your bricks. Now what a brick is in the whole flipping world is something that you just can't get rid of. No matter what you do, it's stuff you've got money tied into and you just can't get rid of it. It's really important to then, in that moment of time, just prioritize speed. Get rid of it, even if it's for cheaper or less than what you bought it for. You make a bit of a loss, just take the loss and keep going. Otherwise, right, Bonnet, this light is gone. Just take the loss and keep going, otherwise you just get miserable, you don't enjoy it anymore. Some things are just not worth holding on to, and chances are if you move on, you'll be able to make profit off another item that will cover for that item that you just lost for. I remember there was this one phone in particular that I put way too much money into and I just couldn't shift it no matter how hard I tried. And that was the phone that I got into the whole situation with, and I was like, right, I've had enough, and I just sold it for less, bought an item, literally 2 or 3 days later, flipped it back. So it was fine. Also, another tip in terms of safety, if you don't feel confident or you don't have a place where you feel like safe enough to meet, you can always just sell on Shpock. eBay and Shpock are 2 great places to sell off of if you don't want to meet people in person, which is absolutely fine, and that's how I got rid of my brick. It was through Shpock. And that's that. Just give it a go. It's really low risk. It's actually kind of fun. Just look around, you know, your house, see what you've got lying around, sell 1 or 2 things. Don't even see it as like a side hustle, just experiment. That's how I started. I just had a problem with my old phone. This is a really old phone, but I had a cracked phone just like this, and I just wanted to see if I could repair it basically. If you enjoy it, you can do it more. And that's all. If you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.